Okay. ಹಾ? ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಹ್ಮ್. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾ? ಶೈಲಜಿ, shall we commence?
Yes, yeah.
So, namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Perfect One, and the Supremely Enlightened Bhagavan Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Vandami, today's speaker, and also all the Upasakas and Upasikas who are on online and also offline. And it gives me a very great pleasure indeed to introduce the today's speaker. Today's speaker, her name is Venerable Dr. Prasannawati Mandevi. Venerable Shayale Prasannawati is a Theravada Buddhist nun from Nepal. She was born in 1986 in Kathmandu, Nepal, hailing from a middle-class family with 3 siblings. She received her ordination at the age of
I think we could not hear. Is there something happen?
from Harvard Divinity School in the academic year 2015 and 16, and completed the 1-year non-degree master course successfully. Shailaji studied Buddhism and Pali and also got her PhD degree in 2020 on the topic entitled The 7 Factors of Enlightenment, a Critical Study. She was awarded the PhD degree from University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka, the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies. After coming back from Sri Lanka to Nepal in 2020, she has been engaging in meditation retreats, teaching Dhamma courses in television and live. From 2021, she is giving lectures to the masters and MPhil students at the Central Department of Buddhist Studies in Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal. This is Venerable Shayale Prasannavati's brief profile. Today's our topic is resilience, bouncing back, resilience from the life story of Mahaprajapati Gautami. That is the topic. And before the commencement of this special lecture, I wholeheartedly welcome Venerable Prasannawati, Dr. Prasannawati, for today's the lecture program, and to give profile of this Mahabodhi Research Center. Mahabodhi Research Center, Bengaluru, is a wing of Mahabodhi Society Meditation Center Monastery, which was established in 1956 single-handedly by Venerable Acharya Buddha Rakita. Fondly, we are calling him as Bada Banteji. And he developed this Mahabodhi Society, where several Mahabodhi centers have been opened, catering to Dhamma propagation and also doing social services, catering meditation services, offering PhD programs, diploma in Buddhist studies, certificate course in Buddhist studies. And we are also interested, there is in the pipeline to open International Theravada Buddhist University, okay, in the near future. So this is the director of Mahabodhi Research Center is Venerable Buddha Datta Banteji. Now Bante has gone to West Bengal on some work. He will be back. And on behalf of everyone present here, on behalf of all Bhikkhu Sangha, Upasakas and Upasikas, we wholeheartedly once again welcome Venerable Shayale Prasannawati. Okay, and it is over to Shayaleji for our lecture. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Actually, I'm not familiar with your name. I think name was not.
My name is Professor Ramchandra,
given.
and
Okay.
associated with the Mahabodhi Research Center, guiding PhD students and diploma students in Buddhist studies.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
So I am the professor nearby Maharani's College.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much, Professor Ramchandra, for giving introduction about me and about this program. So I would like to start today's Dhamma talk. And before starting, I would like to share the PowerPoint presentation also. So altogether, how many minutes I can give the Dhamma talk actually?
Yeah, 45 minutes Dhamma talk followed by question and answer session.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Yes, sure.
10 or 15 minutes.
I hope everyone can see my slides.
Yeah. Yes. Slides are very visible, clear.
Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. First of all, homage to the Blessed One, the Arahanta One, and the Samyak Sambuddha One. And all the Venerable Mahasangha, I would like to express my gratitude and my veneration. And the MC of today's program, Professor Ramachandra of Mahabodhi Research Center, and all the members of Mahabodhi Research Center and their devotees. Thank you so much for inviting me for this today's talk on this program. I appreciate about that, and I hope I can share my Dhamma knowledge with you all. So my topic is about resilience from the life story of Mahaprajapati Gautami. So here, before starting about Mahaprajapati Gautami, who is she and how is her life story, I would like to give a brief introduction about the resilience, why I brought here to depict the life story of Mahaprajapati Gautami. So what is resilience really means here? Resilience is a process and outcome of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences, especially through mental, emotional, and behavior flexibility and adjustment to external and internal demands. So here, we can see the clear meaning of resilience. So what really resilience mean here? So we are trying to be adopt in such a difficult and challenging and stressful moments or our life experiences. So it can be either through mentally, emotionally, behaviorally, or in many ways. So resilience I took here as a topic because it is very important in our life also to practice this resilience. And I would like to differentiate with this resilience and patience in Buddhism. Patience as a khanti. If we say the khanti or the patience are we can say it is mostly, I think we have been known as a patience or bearance. So this is a little bit different from resilience or khanti is a difference from resilience, as resilience is more about balancing or adapting oneself in difficult and challenging moments and overcoming it. So the khanti is more about the patience and bearing what is happening without our like effort. We try to bear only. So there is the difference on resilience and patience. So a number of factors contribute to how well people adapt to advertisers, including the ways in which individuals views and engage with the world, the availability and quality of social resources and social coping strategies. So we can see how people try to adapt individually and try to engage with this world and with the resources what we have in this world. And in Buddhism, to understand this resilience, I brought the term Puttassa Dhamma Lokehi Etang Mangalamottamam. Here, mind free of worldly vicissitudes is a great blessing. Here in Mangala Sutta, we can see the 8 kind of vicissitudes or the conditions of these worldly things. So when we are free from that, so it is also a great blessings. So what are these worldly vicissitudes? It is labor or gain or loss, ayasa, fame or disgrace, pasansa and ninda, so praise and blame, sukha and dukkha, so pleasure and pain. So these are the 8 vicissitudes of worldly beings. So here these 8 kinds of worldly things. Sometimes or most of times we can say, if we have not practiced meditation or we are not really been trying to cope on them, so we are mostly turbulent, our mind, or we are anxious about alava, especially the negative things like a lot. If there are some, if sometimes we get lost, so we feel sad and stress. And if someone is praising, we are happy. But if someone is dispraise, or if they do not praise us, also we become sad. So if there are we feel a kind of pain, so we feel sad. But resilience here means more about balancing all these things, because if there is labor or gaining something, or if we have fame, also we try to resilience. So here resilience in Buddhism about is more like not giving up in life and sustain which morally, emotionally, and so which is very important. And in Buddhism, resilience is not only about adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences, but also keep balance without any turbulence in happy situation too. Free the mind from all anxieties and overthinking with pride. when the situation is according to our desire, it is also called resilience. So according to Buddhism, resilience is not only about adapting when there are the challenges and stressful moments. Also, it is resilience when we have a yasa, and when we have, lava, when we have sukha or happiness. Also, we try to resilience at the time. It's more like, balancing, though we are happy. So Buddha have often said that we are not supposed to anxious, or we are not supposed to be pride or have arrogance when we have, more money, or more more yasa or happiness. So this kind of balancing things also can be called resilience. Now, let's come to the life story of Mahaprajapati Gautami, that how she has practiced resilience in her life. So before knowing how she has practiced her resilience in her life, so we would like to go to her life story and who is she. I think most of us have been knowing about her, have heard about her, we have read about her, we have even seen the documentary or the movies, and mostly we have read about her and heard about her. So Mahaprajapati Gautami in Pali, so if it is in Sanskrit, it is Mahaprajapati Gautami, was the foster mother or stepmother and maternal aunt or mother's sister of the Buddha. So we have been known about her so well. So in Buddhist tradition, she was the first woman to seek ordination for women, and she became the first bhikkhuni, Buddhist nun. So this is also very familiar to us. So here, what is Mahaprajapati means? Maha means great actually, or large. Prajapati means one who has great followers, or the head of the large following. That's why she has been known as the Mahaprajapati, and Gautami is her surname or Gotra. So here, when her name was given in her childhood, it is also said that it was said that in future how she will be also has been like predicted, and seeing that many followers would be there for her, and she will be the head of the followers. So that's why also her name was given as Mahaprajapati Gautami. So let's see her biography. So her father was Kolian King Anjana, and mother Queen Sulakhana, her mother, and she has 3 siblings, including her. She has like 4 siblings. So mother and father has 4 siblings. Mahamaya Devi, the eldest one, then Dandapani Kumara and Sukpa Buddha. So 2 brothers and 1 sister. And she was born in Devadaha, married with her spouse, King Suddhodana from Kabilvastu, and she has 2 children, Sundaranandi actually she is daughter, Sundaranandi and Nanda Kumara, and Yasodhara is her daughter-in-law. So first Bhikkhuni in Buddha Sasana, and she lived for 120 years. So this is a picture I have taken as she was taking Siddhartha Kumara in her arms. Okay, and she is the bhikkhuni when she ordained. So let's see the sum of her life story now. So when Mahamaya died 7 days after the birth of the Bodhisattva, let's keep this one here. The Buddha, to be Prajapati, looked after the Bodhisattva and nursed him. So she is the one who took care of Siddhartha. And it says that after 5 days of Siddhartha's birth, Mahaprajapati gave birth to the Nanda, so Siddhartha's brother. And delegating the care of own son Nanda to nurses, Mahapati raised the Buddha as her own child. And it is a remarkable thing and a symbol of great mother that she has given her own child to a nurse to take care, and she took care of her sister's child, Siddhartha Kumara, who will be the Buddha in future. So we can see a kind of great compassion and a love and care towards our sister and towards our sister's son. And she also has been maybe familiar or has been known that that this child is going to be a Buddha in future. So also maybe she took good care of her. Even it is said that she fed her own milk to Siddhartha Kumara. So it also says in Buddhist literature that all the Buddhas would care or raised by foster mother, since his own mother would die within 7 days after the birth of the Buddha. So this is the like a trend to happen that he should be the future Buddha should be cared by the foster mother. So then later on, Prince Siddhartha, Nanda, Sundari Nandi, and the grandson Rahula and daughter-in-law Yasodhara, all were equally loved and treated by Mahaprajapati Gautami. So it means that Mahaprajapati has a great compassion and love towards each other and to all the family members. So here I brought the incident of Mahaprajapati Gautami when the Buddha visited Kapilavastu for the first time and preached Dhamma on Dhammapala Jataka to King Suddhodana and Mahaprajapati Gautami, and others were also there actually, but this king and queen attend the first stage of stream entry, means they attend the Sotapanna at that moment. So later on in her life story, we can see that how Suddhodana had passed away, and actually he also attend Nibbana attend Arhantahood later on, and attend Nibbana, and her children, especially it has been said about the Rahula and even Nanda Kumara, they both ordained in the Buddha's sasana. So actually in family, there were no one to take care or to be lived for or having like a time for, and there were only Yasodhara and Mahaprajapati Gautami in the family. That's why also maybe the thought of ordination came up, or maybe because she has already been Sotapanna, so the thought of ordination, I think there is. Okay, so the thought already had been set in the mind. So when the Buddha was visiting Kapilavatthu to settle a dispute that had arisen between the Sakyans and the Kolyas regarding the water of the Rohini river, when Mahaprajapati first approached him with the request to permit women to enter the noble order. So without stating the reason, the Buddha refused, saying, "O Gautami, let it not please you that women should be allowed to do so." So here, for the first time, actually, Mahaprajapati Gautami thought that she also has to ordain, and she wants to request this to the Buddha. And in the sources, we also can be seen. It is said that even Yasodhara also wants to ordain because as we have all known that Siddhartha already left the house and Rahula was ordained, and even Suddhodana, the king, the father-in-law, has been already passed away. So there were only two women remain in palace. So she also has willing to ordained as even Buddha has preaching, and many men has attend celibacy life. So they both has the thought. They both have thought about ordaining, but Prajapati Gautami first tried to request from the Buddha, and Yasodhara didn't follow her because even Mahaprajapati Gautami, being a mother of Buddha, he was not willing to give the permission, or didn't allow to enter in the sasana. So it is also said that at that time, when there was a dispute between Sakyans and Kalyans, and at the time, even those Sakyan and Kalyans, when the dispute was settled, then the kings of Sakyans and Kalyas and princes of all Sakyan and Kalyans went to ordained in the Buddha Sasana. So only remaining were all the queens and the princes. So they also had the thought to ordain in the Sasana. And then later on, they also followed to Mahaprajapati Gautami to have the request actually from the Buddha. And Mahaprajapati Gautami in the other side didn't give up anyway, because Buddha for the first time, without any reason, without giving any reason, he just refused that, saying that, "Oh Gautami, let it not please you that women should be allowed to do so, to ordain in the sasana." So though Buddha had refused for the first time, Mahaprajapati Gautami didn't give up in that condition. So on the second time also, and even third time also, she requested for the ordination for women. And in each instant, the Buddha gave the same reply. It means Buddha didn't want to have the bhikkhuni ordination at that time. The Buddha then proceeded to Vaishali to reside at the Mahavana in the Kudagar hall. So after refusing to the Mahaprajapati Gautami, Buddha went to Vaishali. So the determined Mahaprajapati Gautama was not discouraged. So until at that time, though it has been refused for third time also, Gautami was not discouraged. It means she has perseverance. She has this kind of resilience. Actually, I would like to bring here the resilience that she wants to adopt that situation with understanding that there might be some reason that Buddha didn't want to give the ordination for now. So this kind of, I think, resilience bring her or make her to be more determined and more courageous, and brought her perseverance to have or to establish bhikkhuni ordination. So then what she has done here is cutting off her hair, and she put on the yellow robe of a monk, and with a large retinue of Sakyan ladies. So there were 500. It is said that there were 500 ladies walked to Vaishali actually, and I have seen the kilometers and miles from the Kapilvastu to Vaishali is 248 miles, and it is nearly 400 kilometers from Kapilvastu to Vaishali actually. But all along the way, they just walk. Actually, at that time, we believe and we know that there were no vehicles to go, or they have no such miracles or the power to fly from the sky. So they could not go in another way, or maybe they need to use the carts. But they just went and they just walked all over the way to all along the way to Vaishali. So covered in dust, her feet swollen and bleeding. She stood outside the hall weeping. So when they arrived in the Vaishali, their feet were swollen, more dust, more, dirty, even bleeding, and we also can be reminded that they were, very, how to say, they were like, they all were princes and they were queens actually, and Mahaprajapati Gautami was also a queen and living the luxurious life in palace. So that's how, so it is obvious, and it is 399 kilometers. We can imagine that how far it is, and it's not a 1 day, 2 day, or 1 week, 2 weeks. I think more than maybe 1 month we need to walk to arrive to Vaishali. So with all those pain and with stress, they were weeping outside the Vaishali hall. In this situation, so what it was happened is I just would like to notice here that in this situation, the resilience of Mahaprajapati Gautami can be noted clearly, and how she tries hard to sustain in her determination. So here, when there is resilience in our behavior, in our mind, so then it brings, it allows us to sustain with that problem. And even with that determination that we will have the Bhikkhuni ordination. So and it also very important therefore that to be able to sustain resilience matters a lot here, and which also allow us to think of more ideas on achieving goals soon. So when we are sitting and sustaining in our determination and with the resilience, so it allows us to have more ideas that how can we achieve our goals. So this is very important fact I would like to bring here, that resilience allows us to think calmly, and which brings more ideas or more knowledge about to overcome those challenges and those stresses. So how can we overcome that? If we have no resilience and we are like this, we are easily we will be easily discouraged, or we will not have any kind of effort to achieve our goals. So while I was preparing this Dhamma talk and thinking about the resilience, so I just got ideas that why we don't practice this resilience in our life also. So which allows us to achieve our goals in many ways. So which allow us to sustain in the problematic situation also, how far the problem may be or how big it may be, and how stressful. So the practice of resilience allows us to sustain peacefully, and we try to overcome it emotionally and spiritually. I think that's very important. So after that, when they arrived in Vaishali, then they were seen by Buddha Ananda, Buddha's personal attendant. So seeing them and hearing the grief, he decided to approach the Buddha on her behalf. So here, though it is said on her behalf, on those gods, I mean the princess or the queen's behalf, or the ladies who came all along the way from Kapilvastu. So the compassionate Ananda pleaded on behalf of the ladies. So it is said that Ananda went to Buddha and gave all the information what was happening in front of the Vaishali Vihara. And even it is said that Ananda reminded Buddha about her foster mother, Mahaprajapati Gautami, how she took care of her and how she fed her own milk to grow her and raised her so well. And also, it says that even Ananda asked from Buddha that whether woman can attain arhathood or not, because of they will not have capability. That's why are you refusing or not allowing to have the bhikkhuni ordination? So then for that, Buddha also gives the answer that to attaining arhathood or the any kind of margaphala, there is no gender bias, or even women or ladies also can attain arhathood. So with all this conversation, I think Ananda pleaded to provide the bhikkhuni ordination to Mahaprajapati Gautami and these 500 ladies. So then the Buddha did not give the reason for his initial refusal to Mahaprajapati Gautami. All the Buddhas of the past had the order of the nuns. The Gautam Buddha would have seen this and realized that a female order was a part of every Buddha's retinue. So we are also being known that in Buddha Sasana, if there is no bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, upasaka and upasika, even Buddhas would not attain parinirvana. So this has been a trend, or has been happened in every Buddha's time. So why Buddha was not allowing yet to have the higher or the ordination to the bhikkhunis? So as such, we can just guess, or we can just speculate that maybe he was testing Prajapati's determination and resolution, as the holy life for women, especially women of royal birth, would be difficult and entail many hardships. So it can be that Buddha was testing or even examining Prajapati's determination. Or maybe some also says that the initial refusal was also because of the society and its treatment of women at that time, and the Buddha's fear for the safety of the female order. So it can be also because of the society at that time. Even we can see that in this 21st century, we can see that there are much discrimination and even many social issues are happening in the society, in this world. So how it would be maybe before 2,600 years old. So there were the social background and all the status of the woman were not easy anyway. So Buddha may think of that, or he has the afraid of female order. So in general, it is felt that the initial refusal was to strengthen the determination, resolve of the noble ladies, and to prepare them better for the hardship they would have to face. So we can be in generally said in this way also. Also, we can say that at that time, Buddha's dispensation or Buddha's sasana was just flourishing, and the bhikkhus order was just flourishing and growing the members in the bhikkhu sangha. So as soon as growing the bhikkhu sangha, if the bhikkhuni sangha also comes, maybe Buddha has to handle all those sangha members, and especially for the women, as I have already said that the situation for women was not really the same as the men, and women need many protections and more social freedom than men. So that's why Buddha may think that at that time the time was not proper yet. So we can think in many ways than just thinking about having bias or discrimination of women. So the Buddha promulgated at the very finally, then Buddha promulgated 8 specific regulations whose acceptance would count as Mahaprajapati Gautami's ordination. then Buddha said that if they are allowed or they are able to accept this 8 Garu Dhamma, then the ordination can be happen and can establish Bhikkhuni ordination. So Mahaprajapati and her retinue of second ladies accepted the 8 extra disciplines rules and received ordination from the Buddha. So it was very remarkable words of the Buddha that if ladies can, Mahaprajapati and her followers can accept this 8 Garu Dhamma, then the Bhikkhuni ordination can be started. So I think we all know this 8 Garu Dhamma. Let me just read this. So what are the 8 Garu Dhammas? A bhikkhuni or nuns should always respect the bhikkhu even if the monk were junior to her in order. Among the bhikkhus, the junior monks in order respected the senior monks, just as the junior nuns respected the senior nuns. A bhikkhuni shall not spend the rainy season in a place where there are no monks. The attitude prevalent in India towards women at the time of the Buddha necessitated this precaution for the safety of the nuns. Twice a month, a bhikkhuni shall ask the bhikkhus the time when the monastic discipline Uposatha is recited and requested for a monk to come to advise and admonish the bhikkhunis. At the termination of the rainy season retreat, the final ceremony shall be held in an assembly of both monks and nuns. Certain offenses committed by bhikkhunis should be dealt with by assemblies of both bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. The assembly of bhikkhunis dealt with only minor transgressions and some of the personal nature of women, personal nature to women. The novice bhikkhuni shall receive higher ordination after training a period of 2 years. There are instances where monks were given higher ordination immediately after ordination. A bhikkhuni should not revoke a bhikkhu under any circumstances. Even though bhikkhunis cannot admonish bhikkhus, a bhikkhu can admonish a bhikkhuni who has transgressed the monastic discipline. So these are the 8 Garu Dharma or the rules should followed by the bhikkhunis if they really want to get the ordination. So here also we can view the, and then so with these all 8 Garu Dharmas, Mahaprajapati at once accepted these 8 Garu Dharma and ready for the bhikkhuni ordination. So here we can see that resilience of Mahaprajapati Gautami, who tried to accept this 8 Garu Dhamma and gone forth and become a first lady to get ordination on this dispensation, Buddha Sasana. So she just accepted all this Garu Dharma. And when we see this Garu Dharma, we can see that how monks were put very forth, and nuns are allowed to respect and venerate to the monks, and they are especially stay very near or in the environment of the monks' residences or the biharas. So these are, I think, seeing in this 21st century, it's not the thing that we are seeing at that time, maybe when the ordination was not happening. Maybe the situation now is different. Seeing this 8 Garu Dhamma, we may just see a kind of gender discrimination, something in this manner. But at that time, Mahaprajapati Gautami, being at that situation and condition, seeing the Buddha's words, and she was, we can say that practicing resilience so well that she just accepted those 8 Garu Dharmas, and at once she gone forth and got the ordination. So here I would like to, I think, read the Alice Collett's opinion. So I didn't quote it here. I will just read for you. It was beautifully said. So what she says is, so what may be the reason of this eight Guru Dharma she had, the Alice Collett has written. It is quite possible that initially the eight rules were put in place to protect nuns. Women were expected to be under the guardianship of men. If they were not, they were viewed as sexually available. Therefore, in order to make clear that nuns were not sexually available to any man who sought to gratify himself, the community needed to make clear to villagers, town folks, city dwellers, and all inhabitants of North India that the nuns who followed the Buddha were under the guardianship of the monks. If monks are seen to be overseeing the activities of the nuns, the status of monks as the guardian of the nuns is established. Then the nuns are considered to belong to the monks and thereby unavailable to other men. If this is the case, there was no malfeasance. The rules were not originally put in place to cast nuns in a lower status to monks, but to safeguard them from sexual assault. So it is so beautifully said that the women were given this kind of rules to protect them, not for the showing the inferiority or showing the discrimination here. And even Sobarani Das has written so well that she said, Mahaprajapati, the first bhikkhuni and the foremost mother of the Buddha, added a new chapter not only in the history of Buddhism, but in the history of women folk too. The legacy of Mahaprajapati, the legacy of Mahaprajapati Bhikkhuni has been transmitted from generation to generation and is still well preserved despite various ups and downs by hundreds and thousands of women worldwide, following in her footsteps out of deep respect for her, the mother of the Buddha, as well as of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So she has been called here as a mother. So these beautiful words were said for the Mahaprajapati Gautami, and I think it is so noticeable here. So I just brought here, and I would like to bring here some of the incident of Dhammapada Atha Katha, so from the Brahmana Vagga. So here this gatha was said for the Mahaprajapati Gautami. Yasakayena vajaya manasa dukkatang nati itihi. Thanehi sangutang tang ahang brahmana brumi. Meaning, if an individual is well guarded in body, speech, in mind, has done no wrong in these three areas, who is well restrained, I call that kind of person a true Brahmana, the noble saint. So here it is indicating that the Mahaprajapati is a great noble being, a Brahmana, so who has well restrained her three doors. So it was said while Buddha was staying in Jetavana monastery. So here, what was the incident happened in the Atha Katha has mentioned that when some occasion a member of her retinue commented on her manner in which this nun was admitted to full membership in the Sangha, saying Mahaprajapati Gautami has no teacher or no preceptor. By herself alone and with her own hand, she received yellow robes. On hearing this, the other nuns were dissatisfied and therefore thenceforth refused to keep fast day or celebrate the terminal festival with her. And going to the Buddha, they reported the matter to him. So even other nuns were treating her with discrimination, that they were accusing, or it is not really accusing, you can say that complaining or or having the thought about her that she has no teacher and preceptor, because she cut off her hair, and she just wore her robe by herself. So there is no teacher and preceptor, or guru, acharya or upadhyaya. So for that, Buddha um, replied so well. I myself conferred the 8 cardinal precepts on Mahaprajapati Gautami. I alone am her teacher. I alone am her preceptor. So I am the teacher, I am the acharya, and I am the upadhyaya for her. They that have renounced the sins of act and speech and thought, they that have rid themselves of the evil passions, such persons should never entertain feelings of dissatisfaction. So who has already get rid of all evil things, so they don't have to have the satisfaction about all those feelings. So in that way, Buddha had replied on those nuns who have been thinking about Mahaprajapati Gautami in that way. So those kind of accusation also happened towards the Gautami, actually. So, but at the time also, she was not not stressful or having any kind of problem, because by that time she has I think become even arhanthood. That's why also Buddha has praised in this way. So the foremost, and then later on gathering all the monks and nuns, Buddha had announced that etadagga bhikkhave mamasavikanam bhikkhuni nang ratanyung nang yadidang Mahaprajapati Gautami. So in Anguttara Nikaya, we can say that how Buddha announced that the foremost of those nuns who who have gone forth to train for a long time is the nun called Mahaprajapati Gautami. So he has got that kind of ekadaga title also. So now let's move to the gratitude of Mahaprajapati Gautami, who paid reverence to the Buddha and to her beloved sister Maya Devi, so who brought the noble baby into this world. So actually it is from the Therigatha. There were other verses also, but I didn't bring here, thinking this Dhamma talk would be more longer. So here what she has said, I brought only one stanza here. Buddha, hero, homage to you, O best of all beings, who released me and many other beings from pain. So she shows her gratification towards Buddha, and even in the last verses, she has showed her gratification towards the Mahamaya Devi, who gave the birth to the noble boy or noble Buddha. So in this way, we can see that in Therikata, how she praised to the Buddha and what she has done to be free from all the defilements and to be attaining the Nibbana. So at the last stages of her life, she requested and the permission to pass away, to have the parinirvana, to attend parinirvana, she got permission from the Buddha. Then despite the Buddha's acknowledgement of the intellectual capacities of women, there were many men who were not willing to change the views that had been ingrained in them for years. So it is a very important thing here that Buddha knew that though Mahaprajapati Gautami got ordained in Sasana and attained Arhanthood, there were many people who have the views and mithaditi or dogmas that how woman can enter into the Shasana and even ordained in that way. It is not fair, or it is not good, or having many ideas. So knowing or acknowledging those views of many people, Buddha called Prajapati and said that, "O Gautami, it is very rare to see a lady like you, a former queen, attain enlightenment. perform a miracle to dispel the wrong views of those foolish men who are in doubt with regard to the spiritual potentialities of women. So Buddha asks from the Gautami to show the miracles or perform the miracles before attending the parinirvana. So here we can see how Buddha tries to tries to show the society that women are so capable of attaining enlightenment, and Buddha wants to know people that and wants to have the equality on the woman also, that woman has also potentialities to attain arhanthood and free from all the dukkha in the samsara, all the sufferings in this world. So I think this is very wonderful moment that how Buddha consider about woman, and she has the status, good status in the society, and people's view should be changed because women also can attain enlightenment. So Prajapati then rose in the air and came down and worshipped the Buddha. 3 times she paid homage to him, thus then she disappeared and reappeared before the crowd. So in that way she performed her miracles. Actually, she disappeared from there and again reappeared. Finally, accepting permission from the Buddha to attain parinirvana, she walked backwards with her eyes on the Buddha towards the nunnery. So here it is very interesting in Analayo's book. I have brought here Daughters of the Buddha. So he has brought the sources from the Sarvastivada of the Mahayana, that those miracles, as in Pali literature, we can see that how she just disappeared and reappeared again in front of the crowd and worshipped the Buddha. But here Analayo brought that in Mahayana Sutras schools also, it is said that Mahayana Mahaprajapati Gautami shows the miracle of twin miracle, which is actually 2 elements showing at once, like showing the fire elements and even water elements. And this sources shows that this kind of miracles has been performed by Mahaprajapati Gautama, Mahaprajapati Gautami, which is contradictory, or this is the counterpart to the Pali literature, because in Pali literature we can just see that this kind of miracle can be shown by the Buddhas only. And also it is very interesting in Lotus Sutra that how Mahaprajapati in the future will be attend the Buddhahood. So it has been mentioned in the Mahayana Sutra, one of the Mahayana Sutra of Lotus Sutra. So this kind of counterparts or the contradictory things has been shown in the Mahayana sources, but in Pali sources we find different things. So then showing these miracles, performing these miracles, Mahaprajapati Gautami walked away from there to the nunnery. So the Buddha then instructed all to join him to follow her for her last send-off. Prajapati entered the nunnery and seated in the lotus position, entered into the deep meditation, attained the first, second, third, and fourth channels, and passed away to the bliss of parinirvana there. So here at this last moment in his parinirvana, so many monks, even Ananda, Sariputta, Mahakashyapa, even Mahmud Kalyana and all others, other monks, Agrasavakas, even all other monks and nuns followed this procession of parinirvana took place. And it is said that even Buddha also followed her last parinirvana ceremony and sees her off. So we can see that how Buddha normally actually Buddha never goes and follow the procession of the parinirvana to any other uh, his Shravakas or Shravikas, but especially for this Mahaprajapati Gautami as being a mom or the mother, and as she raised her, Buddha shows the gratification towards her mother too. So this is very a good lesson and important message to the world. Also, how we have to treat our mother, even they have been passed away. So conclusion, I think I could not work much on this conclusion, but I try to summarize it. And here I would like to bring that sorry here with actually I have said here without. Actually, here I would like to bring the conclusion that without her resilience and perseverance in such tough situation, the Bhikkhuni ordination would not be able to establish. Actually, I want to really bring this resilience and perseverance of Gautami, Prajapati Gautami, because if she has not that kind of resilience, maybe by now we may not have a bhikkhuni ordination, because I think without her or without her resilience, maybe no one would able to convince Buddha to have the ordination in this sasana. So the great credits goes to Mahaprajapati Gautami, who has the resilience in her behavior and in her determination, and how she has the perseverance to achieve her goal. So which bring the right which bring the freedom for the woman entire world, in this entire world. And for now also we have been able to become at least gone forth, because of she has gone forth and fought. She just fought enough to achieve this bhikkhuni ordination. So we can also talk about her compassion towards Siddhartha, which was remarkable, and how she has raised him even without caring about own son, and as she knew that the Siddhartha will be the Buddha, so how she took care of her was remarkable. And her hard work and determination should be counted, and her gratification. So her gratification towards the Buddha, though he was a son, he she understood how he has been supportive, and how he has worked towards all over the world to free from all the defilements and from all the sufferings. How he has been working. So Prajapati Gautami shows her gratification in Therikatha with the poems also. So her leadership should be appreciated. So here, how she could she could be a leader, and she has worked with all other 500 queens and princess, were also very important here, because to be a leader, it was not easy, because leader should have many abilities and qualities to proceed and to achieve the goal. So it was done so well that's why all other nuns could follow her, and even get the ordination, and it is said that all other nuns also attain enlightenment or arhathood. So it is because of her leadership, and it is also said that later on Yasodhara also ordained as a bhikkhuni and attained arhatship. So her leadership was remarkable and appreciated here, and for that also resilience helped her so well. So I think that's all for this Dhamma talk. May all us also let's get the lesson from her, and let's have the resilience in our life and perseverance for our goals, and let's work on that, and let's work on to free from all the sufferings and attain arhathood. So I think one day we can also attain the nibbana. Thank you so much. Namo Buddhaya.
And wonderful talk, Shailaji. Because to get to know about Mahaprajapati Gautami,
Mhm.
we have to read so many literature,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many books,
actually.
so many books. So in 1 hour, we got to know right from the birth of Lord Bhagavan Buddha till our last bliss of Parinibbana, Mahaprajapati Gautami's ordeal, the journey, which is very difficult, okay, because of her resilience, hard work, determination, perseverance, walking 399 miles from Kapilavattu to Vesali, and also the society was not like this, okay, the orthodox society, and because of the intervention of Venerable Ananda Bantejis, Ananda Banteji reminded Buddha that the previous Buddhas also had the nun, okay, retinue. Therefore, you admit Pajapati Gautami, she nursed Bhagavan Buddha, very great. And the women leadership also, you have also brought out the women leadership started from Buddha's era. Today, even today in India and elsewhere, we are not getting this gender equality.
Yes.
Gender discrimination is there, not in grossest form, in even in subtlest form. One can have the trace of this gender discrimination, and attaining the bliss of Parinibbana, and also first lady to get ordination from Bhagavan himself is very great. And therefore, I think so, for you also, Shailaji, this Mahaprajapati Gautami is the leader. Okay, you are following the footsteps of Mahaprajapati Gautami. Okay, you also attain the bliss of Parinibbana in 21st century. We wish you, Shailaji. And
Yeah.
now let us take these any questions from audience. Vandami Q&A session. If you have any questions or clarification to be sought, seeking any clarification, feel free, audience, both the online and offline. ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದು ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಏನಂತೆ
Sir, namaste.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ನಮಸ್ತೆ
Madam, thank you for the presentation. As sir said, in 1 hour we could be able to understand from beginning to end of Mahaprajapati's life. My question is, why Buddha politely rejected 2-3 times not to allow for ordination to Mahaprajapati Gautami? Was there any particular reason?
Yes, actually, we have discussed in this session also that there might be many reasons. Actually, we cannot say exact reason because Buddha didn't give the exact reason why he didn't want to have the bhikkhuni ordination. So for that, we can say that I think for the first reason, we can give that when Mahaprajapati Gautami asked for the bhikkhuni ordination, it was not long from the sasana. He has been established the bhikkhu sasana. And as we have mentioned earlier, that at the time, the situation and the condition of a woman in society was very poor, we can say. And it was like not the Buddhist era and or the Buddhist period that people didn't know even about Buddhism and how Buddha has been preached about the Dhamma, and they have already had the concept that a woman has to live. Even we in Veda we have been known that how women should live in these four walls inside, and they have the knowledge of even two fingers, such kind of environment, or we can say in that era actually Buddha was going through also. So Buddha knew that women would not be accepted very quickly by the society if they have gone forth, even because the society would not allow them or may not respect them, or in another way, monks and nuns were supposed to live in forest. So maybe that kind of protection may not happen, may not be given, or security may not be given in the in the forest. So it was maybe Buddha was not secure about that also. So there might be many regions. And we cannot say even the same this only region, because Buddha also didn't wanted to open her regions. So I think, but with this answer, maybe we can get some kind of assumption that because of that, maybe Buddha didn't want. But Buddha, and we also knew that in every Buddha's dispensation, we will have these four sanghas, four groups of sanghas: bhikkhu sangha, bhikkhuni sangha, upasaka, and upasika. So Buddha knew that someday bhikkhuni ordination would happen, but maybe he didn't want so soon or so quick. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sure.
Please proceed.
Vandami Guruma.
Yes.
First of all, sadhu for the lovely session on Mahaprajapati Gautami ji. And I have this question, Guruma. Like once a person gets the blessing to attain Buddhahood, maybe they follow the path of Virya, they follow the path of Bhakti, or and they follow the path of Panya. Right, like there are three ways one person can attain the Buddhahood after they get the blessing from a Buddha. So, are all the Buddhas attain enlightenment under the same tree? Is it the same people tree, or it's a different tree for different Buddhas?
Actually, in Texas, it has been said that there are different trees, actually, not only the one tree, but in one tree also there are several Buddhas has been attained Buddhahood, but there are other trees also, like a banyan, other banyan trees and other trees also, even Naga trees. It's called Naga, I don't know in English, but there are many other trees also actually attain Buddhahood. In that under the Buddha, under the that trees, those other trees actually, not only one.
I was just wondering, Guruma, if the tree is named differently in different time periods, but it's the same people tree.
No, actually, no. Even the trees are different.
Okay. Thank you for answering the question. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Naidiyamma? Shailaji, what difference you see in the society regarding the treatment of women and also nuns from Buddha's era and the current context? Okay, you see any difference in the contextual differences of treatment to women in general, nuns in particular?
even the perception of people towards nuns. Do you mean so? Or can you repeat the question once again?
See the perception and again the Buddha's era context 2500 years ago, the society was different, context was different.
Sure.
Women were not allowed. It was not a free society. Today it is a globalized society
Yes.
where this liberalization, privatization, globalization, cross-border trade, okay, all made women to travel, and women are also asserting their rights. And so the context has changed in 21st century
Sure. Yeah.
when compared to Buddha's era.
Yeah.
And also the nuns, that is, it is with great resilience, Mahaprajapati Gautami got into ordination, very successful. It would not have been possible for any other women at that time. Even though the foster mother was refused to give ordination.
Yes.
Mother nursed Gautama Buddha.
Yeah.
And for today, you see these, today also we have nuns, nunnery, etc.
Yeah. Sure.
Is there any changes, remarkable changes, sea changes that are happening now, whether they are having absolute freedom or what?
Yes. We can,
Nuns in
yeah.
particular.
Yeah, in particular, we can say that in context, actually, even the society itself is very different at that time and now, because now more the society is civilized, educated, and developed in many ways globally and digitalized. So people are thinking more rationally and they are searching the scientific reasons. So because of that, the context now is more easier or more like accessible than comparing to the Buddha's time, because at that time even Buddha was refusing to establish the ordination for the woman. It's mean he has been called Sabbanyu, or he has been knowing all the things. So he has been refusing to establish at that time, means there were many reasons. So the context itself, the environment, more than environment, we can say that social status, people's mindset, all the traditions were very conservative. We can say it is a kind of conservative, not educated, not well established. And still there are many things to be work on the society. So even Buddha was like, think twice or twice, what should I do? So it means that even the context is so much different, I can say. So, but now we are just following this ordination, or having giving the Dhamma talk and learning. So we are easily accessible to all kind of digital things. So from that we can get knowledge, and so getting knowledge, we can share this kind of knowledge to anyone, and society are being accepting for the nuns easily. And if we are work hard as monks, and as we are accessible to devotees, and we are serving more, then we are also having no any differences in this society. Of course, in attending the arhantahood or having the marga phala, there is no discrimination. Who tries harder, they attain soon. So there is no difference in Buddha's time or now. But like accessible things, how we can approach to the devotees, how we are approached to this international global way, it is more accessible and more convenient now. I think, did I give
Thank you.
the answer?
And thank you. And the spiritual potentialities of women cannot be disputed.
Yes.
The potentialities.
Yes, sure. It
Right.
can be. And
And
sometimes, yeah, I feel that women has more capabilities. I don't want to say more, but they have like have capabilities to do the things in many ways that they can either accessible or they can either if they really want if they really work hard, so they are more resilient than men, I guess. But
yeah,
I cannot be biased. It's not a biased word, but I was just thinking because woman has as a woman has the even by birth they have the qualities of being mother, sister, and even they can work in the outside office and they can work in the house. So they have been born as to have more resilience, accessibilities actually. So I think maybe they
yeah,
can
work-life balance,
yeah,
work-life
work-life
balance,
balance,
and also by nature they are more resilient.
resilience. That's why they have more potentialities if they work more harder. Yeah.
Do you mean to say women are having more equal capability, men and women, or women are having better capability than men?
I don't
Equal
want
or better?
equal.
Yeah.
We don't want to be biased to the men, because if work hard by men, I think they also can get many positions, many things in the life, and even attend around the hood. So I think sometimes their abilities, maybe that potentialities to be resilient are more in the woman, I think.
And that potentialities need to be converted into realities and actualities,
Yes, yeah, that's
where,
true
where
also.
the effort is required.
Yeah, because though we have said about this resilience and we talk about this for this long time, and we have seen that how Mahaprajapati Gautami had resilience to bear all those refuses and to go through so a long way to to Vaishali to have that high ordination or ad ordination. Now we are just thinking and we feel that resilience is important and it can be happen or done, and it was done by Mahaprajapati Gautami. But when we analyze it one by one or slowly and we try to adopt that resilience in our life, would be very difficult too, because first of all, she was refused by her own son. So how our ego can be hurt? So when the ego comes, or when our pride comes, maybe then at that moment the resilience has gone. So in many ways, so the first he was refused by son, and another thing, she has been old, she's worried about her health, she cannot, if she cannot ordain, maybe her life will just wasted. So in many ways she just practices resilience and keep sustaining that one, was very remarkable. And like for us, if some problem happened to us and we try to be resilient, I think it's not easy anyway, but if we try, I think it gives good result actually. Yeah.
Born and brought up in Kathmandu, Nepal, which is near to Kapilavattu. How, it is a personal question, how your parents allowed to ordinate at the age of 17 years?
Yes, actually, in Buddhism, we believe in our sanskara and karma, and because my mother is a Buddhist and she loves Buddhism so well, so much that even she her childhood she likes to ordain, but according to our condition in Nepal at the time, I think nuns were not so much, ladies were not so much allowed to ordain, so she could not be a nun. So she could not ordain. So she has a wish that if I like to ordain, so she will allow. And another thing, because in Nepal also we have flourishing Buddhism very for I think 3 or 4 decades, from the third or fourth decades. So at that time, from my childhood, my mother used to send me to the Dhamma school. So every Saturday we have holidays and we used to go to Dhamma school in Buddhist monastery. So it also allowed me to have a thought to ordained in 17 years actually. So from the childhood, actually, even I remember 7 years old, my mother used to send me to the monastery for the learning Buddhism. So some of my friends who are elder, actually they are brothers, used to sarcastically they used to say that you were not enough to drinking milk and you are coming down to school like that. So it means from childhood I used to go to monastery, which made me I think to attend this ordination maybe.
Yeah. How is your practice, Patipatti, Shailaji?
Yes, yeah. Sorry.
How is your the level of practice, Patipatti, practice?
Practice. Actually, like daily we have been practicing meditation. Like from 5 to 6 we are having meditation, and of course now since we cannot just engage in meditation and need to learn and need to teach, so we are doing those works also, social services also we are doing, and when time permits, like twice a year we go for the retreat, like 10 days retreat and 7 days Satipatthana retreats in Nepal. We have a Goenka's retreat center and Sayado's retreat centers also here. So we practice this meditation. I think meditation is a very important one. So we try to focus on that, and plus we are doing the temple works and serving people with Dhamma talk and meditation, teaching meditation, and also teaching in academically also I'm teaching, so I'm giving time for that and balancing all those things. Yeah.
How these 7 enlightenment factors? It is a critical study. Satta
Critical
Bojjhanga,
study.
critical
Yes.
study. How critical?
Critical studies in the way that I compare the I compare the 7 Bojjhangas to the Mahayana.
Satta Bojjhanga.
Yeah, Satta Bhojangas to the Mahayana literature also, Mahayana Sanskrit literature also, and compared to the Satipatthana, how it has been in early Buddhism and how it has been later on modified or later on given in the Sanskrit literatures. So sometimes I compare and contrast. So in that way, it is critically I analyze it. But Satipatthana itself, I mean, sorry, 7 Bojjhangas itself have no critical things, but critical in the way that how it has been given in other sources and how it has been developed. There were really 7 Bojjhangas in early Buddhism and other sources. So in that way, I just analyze it in the critical way.
The comparative study.
Yes, yeah. It's not really comparative, but I had some chapters as a comparative also.
ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನಂತೆ
Prakash Ram, I think.
Yeah. So I have one more question.
Sure, yeah.
last
Yeah. See, Buddha says while you wanted before ordinating Prajapati Gautami, one of the condition was a nun should bow down to a monk who was ordained that very day. So even she may be 100 years old. A thought comes to me, it's kind of discrimination, isn't it? So why that kind of, I know Buddha definitely an enlightened person. His purpose was not to discriminate between two gender. There must be some reasons, but today context, if we hear this statement, I feel, yeah, it is kind of discrimination. So in what context women is lesser than a man? See, if whatever we follow, a man and woman also should follow. It's not that one day is ordinated and she has to bow her head, and it should apply to the man also. If it is a one day ordinated, he should bow his head. What is your thought on that?
Very critical and very controversial question is this. and I have thought about that, and but I don't talk much about this because I'm afraid it will be the controversial talk on that. So actually, I also feel the same way that now when we are behaving in the society and have associating with other monks and nuns, and sometimes I will give the example, and I think you will relate on that also. So I went to give a Dhamma talk in one temple. It is a monk's temple, and I gave the Dhamma talk, and after finishing that, so the tea was served, and I was sitting in the chair actually. So there was this very new novice. When it says novice, means that's ordained a few months only. So that monk was sitting down in the floor. So I was sitting in the chair. So in front of the high priest was there, and he just said to the small novice that please don't sit down, the nun is up. So better you sit on a chair. So the thought click on me that how Buddha has given the rules and regulation about the Garu Dharma, that we suppose non-ordained or even high ordained for 100 years and just ordained today or get high ordination today has to worship. So and how it can be possible. So at that time, the thought click on me. So is it really discriminating, or there is something Buddha didn't taught us, or maybe didn't say to us? So maybe at the time my ego hurts also, because I have ordained so long time and so educated maybe. So it is not valued here because I am a nun. So the monks should not be in floor while I'm up. So it was thought came into my mind. So we can relate to that situation, to the Gaur Dharma's first one. So wherever we go, we have been treated in that way. So sometimes I questioned also, and I'm afraid to say that it is discrimination, because I'm not sure, because with the time, the context and the granthas has been modified. Sometimes we do not know if it is really from the original Buddha's words or not. Sometimes we can suspect, but if we are suspecting, maybe more troubles may come, but I don't want to say so also. But being unknown, and if there is no discrimination, if there is no bias, we are thinking, then we can say this is discrimination. We may think in that way, but we don't know actually why Buddha said so. It may be for the long term of Sasana's life span, and because if monks are treated in that way, so there will not be problem within monks and nuns also. It may be possible in that way, and others also can be happened that in another way we can think that if we have been already eradicated our egos, our all the defilements like Lobha, Dvesha, and Moha, all the cravings, Trishnas have been gone. So at that moment, whoever we need to worship also, we may not feel hurt, or we may not feel like a ego hurt, or we don't think that will be any problem, because we have been already eradicated all those defilements. So nothing may matters for us. So I have been thinking in this way also. I think you may understand what I said. I hope I gave you the answer.
Okay, yeah, I know it's a kind of contradiction, but yeah, we have to move on. That's only the thing.
Yes, yeah.
Somebody should take a research program on this and find out the reasons, and
Mhm.
also why 227 and 311 rules. It is 227 Patimokka Shila for bhikkhus, 311 for bhikkhunis, based on circumstances, conditions, etc. I think so.
Yeah, for that
And-
sorry, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
please, Shailaji.
For that, I would also may not be more critical on that. If we see some of them may be critical and controversial, so I would not agree about that. But some of them are for like a woman's safety and protection. I agree for that. But some of them, of course, they are like exceptionals. They are more for nuns, and we can research on that why it is. We can question and we can have the rational answer also maybe, because the first one, the parajika, even for monks it is only 4. So for nuns, there are 8, so double. And when we thoroughly read and contemplate those 8 rules, so those are, for me, it is not for expelling from the sasana. It is very biased for the ladies, for the nuns. It has given the rules actually, because I have been teaching Vinay Pitak also to the master's students, and when I thoroughly read those, I was shocked that why even those small mistakes can expel from the sasana for the nuns. Because if parajika, and for parajika, and it is 8 parajikas, so there are more risk or challenging things for nuns to expel or go out or to stop for being ordination. So expelling for such a minor, I don't want to say minor, but it is very inferior than monks, because we have 8 parajikas and they have monks have 4. So in that way, I think as a professor said, we can have more research on them and have the rational answers through the sacred books.
Okay, Shailaji, thank you for all your answers and also perspectives. Perspectives are good.
Yes.
And the changing context, okay, we have to see what is happening, but we have to follow these Vinaya Pitaka rules also. So that is there. And we thank you very much for your special talk today. And also we, on behalf of this Mahabodhi Research Center Director and Bhikkhu Sangha, we have Kasappa Banteji, President of Mahabodhi Society, Venerable Ananda Banteji, Secretary, and also we have Sugatananda Bante, and the Director of Mahabodhi Research Center, Buddha Datta Banteji. On behalf of all Bhikkhu Sangha, Upasakas and Upasikas, we invite you to Bengaluru Mahabodhi Research Center. Feel free, visit this center, share your knowledge, associate with us. Okay, let us improve on this Dhamma understanding and comprehension, and work towards the goal of Nibbana for the benefit of all in the society.
Thank you.
Therefore, we thank you immensely, Shailaji.
Yeah,
Thank you.
my
Thank
pleasure
you.
for
Sadhu,
inviting.
sadhu.
Yeah, and for allowing me to share my knowledge to all of you. And thank you so much.
Guruma, I have a question, a small one. Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt.
Maybe last question. Okay.
Yes, yes.
म अलिअलि नेपाली बोल्छु अनि म मेरी आमा र बहिनी सबै विपश्यना मेडिटेसन हामी गर्छौँ घरमा एसएन गोयनकाजीले सिकाएको अनि हामी नेपाल आएपछि हजुरले भेट्न पाइन्छ
हुन्छ
चन्द्रगिरी हुन्छ
हुन्छ हजुर म काठमाडौँमा छु. I live in Kathmandu, so you may contact me. So you may visit our temple also. You are most welcome.
Definitely. And I have another question. As we were discussing about male and female, and we were talking about resilience. So why is that all the Samyak Sambuddhas are male? Like, why can't a female be a Samyak Sambuddha?
Yeah, it is an open question, and I think everyone has opinion on that. We cannot say like exactly why it is. There are maybe the answers, like there may be the answers like maybe women have not capabilities to to have all those qualities, or it's mean spend all the lives in that way, or maybe because and another thing, we can also think that woman can become male in another life, or male can become woman in another life. So the life are changing in that way. So even the woman at the previous life can become the male, and maybe in male life they can be Buddha. So in that way, we cannot say that being a Buddha, it may be the bias, but we in Pali literature, till now I could not find that why female cannot be Buddha. But in Mahayana literature, we can find that woman, or the female also can become the Buddha and Bodhisattva. There are many bodhisattvas, female bodhisattvas, female Buddhas are there. So we do not know that in Pali literature we do not have female Buddhas. And maybe there are reasons also that socially how men are capable to rule the society and to rule the world. So it may have the potentiality to work on that, and has the qualities. So it depends on them maybe. And it also, for me, that I do not consider this as a bias, because for me, in this birth I have become female, maybe the last birth I have become male also. So in that way, so we are exchanging our lives, and maybe some life we will, if I pray for becoming the Buddha, maybe I can be a Buddha. So so in that way there may not be problem, but I cannot find the exact the reasons why female cannot be the Buddha.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Guru Mata.
Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba sanganubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
sadhu.
Thank you, Shailaji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ramchandra sir. Thank you. Sharatji, thank you.
Thank you.